Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you are brand new here, welcome. I'm glad that you found me. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and on this channel we do a lot of deck unboxings, take a look at deck collecting, discuss tarot topics, and topics about religion. So if that's what you like, stay tuned and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Today's video is going to be kind of a continuation of my my newfound love for 90s decks. Apparently I recently did a video of some decks from the 90s and 80s and the early 2000s that I found from my local half-price book, so I will link that video below if you like those old vintagey decks. Now this deck is the Hudes Tarot Deck, and I believe that's how it's pronounced. And it is a deck, I believe this is the 1995 edition that I found on eBay. So I did purchase this one on eBay, and it was a pretty penny. But I have to tell you that I was enabled by the wonderful Lisa Papez. She didn't tell me to go out and buy it, but I saw it in one of her wonderful videos. And if you watch her channel, it is her series that I love, Say Yes to the Deck, where she kind of goes back and forth. It was either Say Yes to the Deck or one of her Decks I'm Not Going to Buy series. I'll try to find which one it is because I can't remember, but both of those series are wonderful. But she brought this deck out. She was looking to buy or questioning whether or not to buy, I think it was the Tarot de Marseille Weight, and she kind of ruled that one out because she had this deck and she kind of flipped through it, and I'm like, oh. So I looked on it on eBay. I found it on eBay. There were several copies in various conditions. And yeah, I think there's a little price sticker on here that maybe it was $19 at one point, but it's a lot more now. It's a US Games publication. As you can see, look at that. And here it says the Hudes Tarot Deck is specifically designed with antique maps, constellation charts, and marbleized paper. Right up my alley. Okay, so we're gonna open this puppy up. Now it didn't come in shrink wrapped, this deck, but it is wrapped on the inside, so the cards have not been used. There's a tiny bit of, shelfware, which isn't bad, but this is in really good condition considering how old the deck is. And you even see, I don't know if you can see it, the lighting in here isn't the greatest. We're having ice here in Central Texas. It's like we're expecting some snow again. It's so weird. I'm thinking this whole week we've had ice, and I'm thinking, am I living Nebraska, South Dakota? I don't know. So I hope the lighting in here is okay. But if you can tell, there's a little bit yellowing on the shrink wrap. This is still factory sealed, that tight sealed and nicely folded. So I know it has not been opened or worked with. And this is the title card. So I'm going to unwrap the plastic, get the plastic off, and I'll be right back. All right, here we are. And I'm trying to, the cardstock is laminated. It is somewhat laminated, different for US Games. But look at those backs. I think they're beautiful. So there's the title card. I'm going to get in just a little bit closer. And so a little history. Susan Hudes is a graduate of the Parsons School of Design. She is a painter and an illustrator currently residing in New York City. The beauty of medieval art and the symbolic nature of mythology served her inspiration for the creation of Hudes Tarot. She combines the soft, luminous qualities of watercolor with antique maps, constellation charts, and marbled paper to create the collages in these painted In these paintings, the magical nature of medieval thought combined with the themes of alchemy and astrology appear throughout this special deck. Very cool. Now, one thing I noticed, there's not a little white book in here. And this was sealed, so it wasn't, wow. Now, I do know, is it, oh, never mind. Well, look at this. I'm going to put the cards off to the side for a second. This is old. This paper, I don't know if it was yellow or if it's meant to be this color or if it's yellowed over time, but you get a pamphlet. So, oh, wow. So this deck was originally published in 1991, also in 2005, but I believe this may be the 2005 edition as opposed to the 1995 edition. The box is the same as the 1995 edition that I've seen on eBay. So if you have this deck, let me know. With this box, if you have this box, and the cardstock that is somewhat laminated, it's not papery matte. It does have a little bit of a gloss laminate. It's not super thick, but it's nice. It's nice cardstock. So let me know, what edition do you think this is? I think this is either 1995 or 2005. Probably 2005. Probably 2005. So if you're a collector, let me know your expertise. Anyway, I don't care. I just wanted the deck, and I think it is beautiful. Look at the color saturation here on this. There are, you know, there's some white space at the borders, but I don't mind it at all. And I'm thinking I need to find a video with, you know, maybe some comparisons. This deck was not on my radar before I saw it on Lisa's channel. So thank you, Lisa. The Magician. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. Look at the background. And you can see the collage work that has been done. Oh, again. Wow. Do you see the text in the High Priestess and her shawl and her dress? You know what this reminds me of? Are you all watching The Discovery of Witches? It's based on a book series by Deborah Harkness. They had season 1. Season 2 is out now. Excuse me. This reminds me of the heroine, Diana Bishop, when she goes into the Bodleian Library and she opens up this rare book, which happens to be the Book of Life that everybody is searching for. Vampires, demons. And she puts her hand, you know, she's going through the pages of the book, and the words are, her body is absorbing the words as through osmosis. It's really a cool scene, and this kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, let me know if you're watching that. Oh, wow. That and she's a blonde like the heroine, like Diana Bishop, so that's just what came to mind. Look at this. Look at this Empress. Oh, wow. This shield almost reminds me of a planchette that you would use on a Ouija board or spirit board. But look at the leaf imprintings. Mixed media art. It's fantastic. The Emperor. Oh, I'm going to pick up the deck for a minute because I'm seeing it has new card smell. Oh my gosh. For a deck this old to have new card smell, it smells really good, and I'm smelling it from where I'm at. Look at the maps. Look at the rich colors in this. Would have liked it if they could have been facing each other, but it's just, yeah, it's no big deal. I always think it's cool when they do the Hierophant. Not a lot of overt religious symbolism here, but look at the dove, the shadow of the dove. I think it's pretty cool. The lovers. And look how they're depicted. And this is probably the angel, but without the big fluffy, you know, the wings and everything. And look at the serenity in their faces. The Chariot. Oh my gosh, I hope my phone is picking the sumptuousness of this artwork. Fantastic. Beautiful Strength card. I love the rich greens, the emerald greens used. Oh, wow. And it's such a stark contrast here from the hues and the deep colors of the other cards. I do, you know, the borders, of course, we all like the borderless cards and borderless artwork, but I think the borders here add and do not detract. We'll see how they look laid out together in a bit. The Wheel of Fortune. Again, these beautiful greens. Justice. The Hanged Man. I love this Hanged Man. Do you see the different faces? Almost like either they could be spirit guides or spirits watching over this person in this predicament, or when we're in a dilemma or in a, you know, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Those looking out for us. Or different parts of ourselves. Our shadow. There's lots of ways you can look at this. Look at the simplicity of this Death card. Wow. The butterfly or moth wings. So simple, but so impactful. I don't know, I'm trying to remember beginning anatomy, but this looks like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. If you know anatomy, this looks more like a female pelvis to me, but not, well, I don't know. That's my guess, but look at how beautiful this Temperance card is. And she's looking at her reflection. A different portrayal of, for sure, of the Temperance card. Now, this follows the RWS system, but it's got its own little way of interpreting it, which you always like because there are so many clone decks out there. And so when it follows the RWS system, it's nice when the artist takes some liberties and doesn't stray far from it, but adds their own interpretation. And this is a beautiful interpretation. Pretty standard devil, but there's no chains or ropes around them, but wow. Again, the rich hues. Traditional tower. And you really get a sense of the watercolor you can see in the sky. It's beautiful. The star. And look at, wow, look at the background. I think this is one of the most gorgeous stars. The moon. Again, the wolf and the dog and the crayfish have been taken out, but you can totally get the inferred meanings. What a beautiful sun card. I think this deck is stunning. I'm causing my table to shake. I apologize. I'm getting too excited. Oh, wow. Judgment. The angel, probably the angel Gabriel here depicted, calling forth the souls. Yeah, a stripped down version of the traditional RWS card, which I appreciate. Now this is something different. Look at this simplistic world card, but you do have a map and two touching hands. Again, a different take, and I really appreciate that. The King of Swords. So I'm getting, you know, a wonderful alternative if you do not resonate, if you're a beginner looking at this deck, and if you're going through your tarot journey trying to study with the Pixies art, not everyone, Pamela Coleman Smith's art, not everybody resonates with that, and sometimes it can stop them from learning the tarot because the art isn't, it's missing a box for them. You know, one of the boxes isn't checked. We're all different in what resonates with us as far as artwork, but this is a great alternative if you want something with the traditional medieval type images, but something with maybe a little bit more life. You can see the faces. Look at this. Oh, see here, they can be facing each other, which I really appreciate. And look how beautiful they go together. The Knight of Swords. See, I love these kind of, you know, I do appreciate a knight on a horse. Oh, the knight is before the page. That shouldn't be. But look how they can face each other. The directionality. Again, this is kind of what I like about decks like the Morgan Greer and the Aquarian Tarot, those vintage decks from the 80s, 90s. I think the Aquarians from the 70s. How they have their courts. You get the full facial, which I like, up close and personal, and I appreciate that. The Ten of Swords. You know, traditional, he's on his side though, which is a little bit of a different vantage point, and there's not a accumulation, you know, there's not a lot of blood. Do you see the print on his sleeve? It's almost like a bird wing, like a peacock. To me, it signifies, and you see it here, his other arm, maybe he's transforming. Maybe this is what has to happen for a transformation. It's interesting. And why is the 10 before the 9? This is weird, you guys. Oh, so we're going... I'm getting too involved with this deck. Okay, so I see what they're doing. They're going... the light bulb, they're going backwards. So yeah. I'm not the brightest bulb right now. Ten of Swords. Nine of Swords. Again, she's got kind of the same print on her dress. I don't know. And we're going to see. Maybe it's going to go with the suit. Okay, now I'm going to have to go back. You know what? They're all wearing the print. Except for, well, he's wearing a little bit of it on his hat and his neck. And he's got it as well, the king. Okay, so this is in the suit of swords. So the print has significance, because here again we see it in the traditional Eight of Swords. Again, beautiful, beautiful watercolor. He's wearing it in the 7. His sleeves in the 6 of Swords. I like this depiction of the 6th. Traditional, but a little bit different vantage point. Oh my. The 5 of Swords. That's a little bit graphic. Instead of the traditional, you know, shadowy figures walking away in defeat, the proud posture by him, this is someone in the act of their, well, it could be their triumph or their downfall, depending on the way that you look at it. The 4 of Swords. So really, it flows with maybe a battle concept. Is he injured? Is he dead? Is he taking a breather from battle? This person is in the act of battle here. The 3 of Swords. And from her posture, you get the meaning of the 3 of Swords without, you know, the stabbing of the heart. And because of that, because the heart isn't involved, you can interpret this in different ways. It gives you the freedom to do so. And I always thought it's funny, you know, with the 3 of Swords, with the heart, and, you know, with the swords being kind of the suit of air and intellect and logic, that they would have a sword. So I prefer these kind of depictions much better, because it leaves room for a wider interpretation. The 2 of Swords. Again, the traditional 2 crossed swords, but she's not blindfolded, and she's got, I love the resolute look on her face. So here's the beautiful ace. So yes, it was backwards, and it took me a while to catch on. But I was getting so excited about the artwork here and these cards. Look at this King of Wands. And again, you see the map and the text. Beautiful collage and watercolor work. And I think she's sticking. How they are facing each other. Okay, let's look at the pattern. Is this the same pattern? Maybe they're all going to be wearing the same pattern. Seems to have a little bit more green, though. I really, really, really like how they're facing each other. And let's look at the Knight. You put the Knight over here. Nope, they're facing this. These ones are facing away. The Page and the Knight. You do see, yeah, a similar pattern in the clothing. This has more reds and greens. And look at his staff. The 10 of Wands. Traditional. Also traditional with the 9 of Wands. And the 8. Again, I want to point out the beautiful watercolor work. It's done. The 7 of Wands. We've got a female here, as opposed to, you know, with these decks, usually they depict a male on higher ground, but still, you can infer the traditional meanings of the cards here. The 6 of Wands with his wreath. There's not, you know, an adoring crowd around him, but you certainly get the meaning. The 5 of Wands. looks like this is the start of an argument, a friendly competition. Either or here. Just between the two of them. Four of Wands. We don't have the big castle or home in the background, but sometimes, like, you know, if you're learning tarot, sometimes the stripped down imagery helps some. The less you have to focus on, you can really hone in, and it helps in the learning. We all learn differently. The Three of Wands. A little bit different depiction here. She's bending down to pick up a wand, as opposed to looking out. Whereas, you know, here's the Two of Wands. And I'm trying to look. These are sea creatures, whales out. So kind of depicting that sea glance, looking out. Again, I love these greens. I love green. But look at the wonderful colors in this Ace of Wands. Not as fiery as usually depicted. The oranges and reds aren't so vivid, but it's beautiful. Now we are in the Suit of Cups, so we've got the King of Cups. Again, the pattern is a little bit different, just color-wise. Cup he's holding seems to have a pattern, like the map pattern is in the cup. I don't know if you can pick that up. So here the King and Queen kind of differ. She's looking down into her cup, almost as if she's scrying, which I like. He's looking towards her, but she's looking towards the cup. I really like this. The Knight, and look at the background again. The watercolor. Again, they're not facing each other, but that's okay. But look at the watercolor background. Again, that map pattern is in their cups. You can see the Ten of Cups. So there's no people depicted in the Ten of Cups, but you can still infer the same meanings with this dove or bird flying over, and all is well. And the bird has a pattern to it. Do you see? And this Nine of Cups. Oh, wow, look at this 8. Look at the sky. My goodness. You know, you get kind of the pilgrim, the religious pilgrim feeling from this person. But yeah, it's stunning. Traditional Seven of Cups depicted here, as well as the Six of Cups. It looks like he's filling his cup here. It's very, very sweet. And look at those colors. The Five of Cups. And look at the liquid it's red. Is that blood? I, don't know. It's probably wine, not blood. Wine. Red wine. Traditional 4. And this one just hanging off the branch right there. You almost think, is this a dryad of some kind offering him this cup that maybe he's a little more special than the rest. Look at this Three of Cups again. Her cloak, what she's wearing on this female here, is almost like the cosmos, like the sky. And again, she's got, this one has the highly patterned, look here, they're wearing in the Suit of Cups here. I love, love the Two of Cups. And there's the gorgeous Ace. Oh, wow. Fantastic. This King of Pentacles here. And we do see that there's red, more red in his attire and the pattern. And the pattern is different, more unique than the others. Look at the King and Queen here. Now she really does look like she's got some maturity and wisdom. And I appreciate that. Now she seems more lifelike, more like it's a life portrait painting than this king. It's beautiful. Oh, we do have a knight on a horse finally. I wonder why the artist chose to stray for this suit and not the others, but it's okay with me. There's the page. Oh, look at this Ten of Pentacles. Look how she's got her cloak protectively covering her child. And in fact, the man is in a protective stance towards his family, his wife. Simple, but impactful. Again, the garden scene here this is traditional, but stripped down and just beautiful. Eight of Pentacles. Now, I like that they're depicting a female craftsperson here as opposed to the traditional male in this genre of deck. She's got the pattern here. I love it. Seven of Pentacles. Ah, yes, the expression here, you're fully getting what he's feeling. If only, if only. Yep, having some sticking. Look at the Six of Pentacles. It's a little bit different here. He's weighing out his goods. Is he on the giving or the receiving end? I love that it can be left open totally to interpretation. Traditional Five of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Now, this is a little bit different. Usually there's more figures depicted in the Three of Pentacles, but this could also be like an Eight of Pentacles again. The Two of Pentacles. and the beautiful Ace of Pentacles. All right. Let us see how this puppy, oh, it smells so good, you guys. I can totally smell it. They shuffle pretty good for being brand new, semi-glossy cards. They are about a traditional tarot size. Yeah, I would say they're traditional tarot size, you know, that comes in a regular US Games tuck box. Let's see. We're going to see how they look laid out together. There are some more of these on eBay. I just checked. There's a few. Some have been opened. Some are buy it nows. There's an auction, one that's in auction. There's also a, this did come in a book, like a full-size book and deck set, and that's going, it's, I think it's new inside the box, factory sealed, and I think it's, they're asking like over $600 for it. Yeah, as much as I would like it, you know, yeah, I would really like the book. If it has any artist insights, I really like some of her choices in the cards, that some of them that strayed a little bit from traditional RWS, but if we always had the same RWS depictions in the, you know, kind of cloney decks, it would get boring. And so it's great that we have these artists with their insights and they put their life experience and their vision into their decks. Now let's look at these decks. Do you see the faces? So these aren't totally, these are not, I was going to say they're reversible, but you see it's different, the different colors, so you know which way is up and down. If they hadn't have done this, you know, it would have been a totally reversible deck, I think. So yeah, let me know what you think in the description box below. Now, you know, I don't know why I'm being called to these 90s or, you know, 2000 or prior decks. I think I've been trying to question myself, because I don't want to be a collector in the sense that I'm going to go for all the obscure or all the editions of the Morgan Greer or the RWS. I'm not going to do that. I want to have decks that I'm going to actually use in my hands, instead of storing them away. With that being said, I do have doubles of some decks. Like if I have an indie version of a deck and there was a mass market that came out later, I put the indie deck away and take it out only once in a while, and I will use the mass market deck because I can use it with reckless abandon and keep the indie deck precious for me and me alone, and the mass market, you know, someday when we can get out in the world and see other people and meet other people, I can take the mass market, and, you know, if I happen to be in a situation where I can read for somebody else. Oops, I'm knocking my camera, my phone. And see how, just to give you a little taste how these are laid out, what they look like together. I am really excited, and I'm going to have to thank Lisa for turning me onto this deck. It's my cup of tea. It may not be yours, but one thing I can't keep on track. I've been attracted to these decks, and my theory is these older vintage decks is because, this is my theory, I think I should have been on the tarot path, on the metaphysical path, sooner than I am now. I feel drawn to these decks because it was something, these decks came out in my youth when I was a young woman, and I would have been attracted to had I felt that I had the freedom to explore. And I didn't at that time in my life. And these decks would have certainly been in my collection. And maybe still if I had started earlier. Or maybe it's because I wish I had started earlier. I really don't know. If you have a theory what it is, why I'm being drawn to these decks, put it in the description box below. Comment below. It's just my theory. But yes, if you are interested, you know, from my last video, all those wonderful vintage decks I found at Half Price Books. I did keep the Whimsical Tarot, the Fairy Wicca, the Aquarian Tarot, and I took back the Goddess Oracle, the Merlin Tarot, and the Shakespearean Tarot. Even though I loved the Shakespearean Tarot, there was something about the small card size and the very small text that was driving me batty. I know, I waved it back and forth, but that one went. Because I said I want decks that aren't just going to sit there as a collector's item. I want them to be used. And even though this is maybe considered a collector's item, it is going to get used. So let me just pull a quick card as to my relationship with this deck, because I am getting such good vibes from it. I'm in love. I'm in love. I don't know how it's going to read for me. It is a little bit stiff. I have the feeling that it's going to be a well-loved deck. I have this feeling. I don't know if it's going to... I'm going to love it, but I don't know if it's going to love me back. So we shall see. Oh my gosh. So I've got the Two of Swords, which is really, really, really interesting. As you saw from a recent video, and if you've been with me for a while, I'm going through this journey where I'm trying to reconcile with my Mormon Christian upbringing. I think that this deck is going to help me somewhat with that journey. It's going to be direct. It's going to cut through the crap when I'm at a standstill. I need to use this deck for questions regarding that. Do you see how she not this depiction of the Two of Swords? She's not blindfolded, but she is somewhat at a crossroads, which I feel that this cross swords are signifying. So I really, really, really feel that this deck is going to be the deck that I should turn to when I'm at a point of ambivalence, of instability, of confusion, and a need for guidance. I think that it's going to give me very direct answers. We shall see. But this deck is going to be used. It is going to be cherished. It's not going to be treated as a collector's item. I am going to use it and enjoy using it. Wow. So this was kind of a long walkthrough and flip through of this vintage deck. Let me know what you think of it, even if it's not your cup of tea. Let me know what you think of this find. And as always, I love to hear your comments. And if you're new here and you found any value to this video, please hit a like or subscribe, comment below. It really helps this small channel. And with that, I thank you and I leave you to go on with the rest of your day. Bye for now.